Hi there. We briefly met at More Wilson's and we spoke about a Venison Wellington and what we do with a Venison Wellington with red cabbage. So the following is a quick short video. Thought that would be easiest to take you through how it goes together, and we'll show you the final result. So here we go.
The ingredients you'll need for the red cabbage are half a red cabbage, finely chopped, 1 apple, finely chopped, a cinnamon quill, the zest and juice of 1 orange, here's the zest, some brown sugar and some bacon lardons, so bacon cut up into small pieces and fried off, and use the orange juice to deglaze the baking pan so you get all that good flavour in there as well.
So now we're going to load up the pan with how we do the red cabbage. So we basically take a handful of red cabbage, put it on the bottom there, a couple of bits of bacon in between, a little bit of the zest in between, a little bit of the sugar in between, then a little bit of the apple. Then we repeat. As you can see there, we cover that layer. We do the same thing then now, a little bit of bacon in there, a little bit of brown sugar, a little bit of zest, a little bit of apple, and repeat. So final layer, we get the last of the cabbage, put that over the last there in the top, last little bits of apple, last little bits of the bacon, little bits of the sugar, last of the zest, finally 2 things, the cinnamon quill, and then about a half a bottle of red. I've got that glaze, let's get that glaze in there. Done. On the heat for 90 minutes. In the meantime, we'll do the Venison Wellington, but there's the red cabbage. So, recap on where we're at. We're just going to take through some of the ingredients in preparation of the Wellington and show you how the cabbage is going. So, just in preparation of making the Wellington, we've always got the lovely venison, regretfully not from your place, as they didn't have the backstreet fillet that we use. The flaky puff pastry, finely chopped mushrooms and shallots for the duxelle, as well as the fresh parsley, the egg, Himalayan pink salt, and some lovely pepper. Our one is just getting the shallots in there first, finely chopped. We're going to sweat those down. So with those sweating down nicely, we'll now add the finely chopped mushrooms, turn up the heat a little, and get that reducing down. We've also seasoned accordingly now as these a little bit more heat. Keep it evenly spread. Final ingredient in there now is the parsley, and we're going to mix that through and then set to cool. So there's the beautiful duxelle. We're going to leave that to cool now. So
we're about to put it all together. So what we need to do is actually do it on the oven tray. Don't try and do it on the bench and move it. So we've got our egg wash here. So it's just an egg that's been beaten. So we want to join the 2 pieces of pastry together. So just brush an egg line up, and then we place our other piece of pastry just over that join so that it joins nicely and we don't have to worry about it running out. Now we get some duxelle and place that on the bottom. And so the idea of duxelle is to actually just keep your meat moist. So we just need to spread that out. So we've got a nice layer of duxelle there beneath the meat. More perhaps. Okay, so the trick with venison is not to, obviously as you all know, it's not to let it cook too long. And that's a bit of a tricky one with pastry actually, because pastry has a certain time. Now here's our venison fillet, which we've seared off and seasoned. It's quite lovely. And just take that little end down there. Then pop some more duxelle on the top, across the top here. I'm going to use all of that because it's so delicious. Okay. So there it is, it's ready to go. We're going to wrap that. So we're ready to roll our Wellington now. So just carefully pick up one side. I'm going to bring that over. I'm going to make sure that covers nicely. We want it quite tight. Then we use our egg wash. Just egg wash this side together because we want it to seal nicely. And, just pop a little bit underneath each end. Okay, and then we bring the other side up and over, and we want it quite tight. So bring it over and then just push that down. Now,
and this is quite a small.
This is actually a very small fillet.
Yeah. So this will cook quick.
Remember, we don't have a lot of time in which to cook our pastry because venison cooks very quickly. So we just cut off those ends. End, and we press that down. We want the air out because we don't want it to explode. Push that down and do the same at the other end. Just pop that off and just squeeze the air out of that. Remember, we put the egg in underneath it, so that's nice and tight now. And to finish that off, and give it a bit of an egg wash, so we just use our pastry brush and run our egg over the top of that, so that it's lovely and it's going to be golden when it cooks, and it's ready to go in the oven. The oven's been preheated to about 190, and it's going to go in for about 17 minutes. So second rung up, just pop it in there, fingers crossed, it's going to come out perfectly. Right, so we're at 17 minutes now. So let's have a look. Okay, that has browned beautifully. So we're going to take this out and put that up here. We need to let it rest for a few minutes. So we're going to take it off the hot plate and pop it on the board so that it has a chance to rest. See how that's moved beautifully off the tray because we floured it beforehand. Right, we just need to let it sit here for about 3 or 4 minutes.
Meanwhile, the cabbage is ready to serve. It has reduced down beautifully. Okay, now the time to see how the Wellington has done. We will do the cut in the middle and bring it out. Oh yeah.
That looks pretty good.
That looks fantastic.
Great, I can't wait to have that.
So, venison Wellington on a red cabbage, orange apple and bacon. Pastry a little underdone, venison looking perfect. Goes lovely with a glass of red.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Hope you enjoyed it.